everybody, my name is Jen and this is Jen Geigley Knits. It is Friday night and this week I was this close to not doing a video at all because I didn't have a ton of knitting time this week and I was like, what am I going to talk about? But then I started looking through my stuff and I do have some things to talk about, so this will be short and sweet, but I do have a few things to share. I have been uploading a video every Saturday morning all year long, and so I kind of didn't want to break my streak if I didn't have to, but things got crazy this week because it was my kids' last week of school. My daughter's a junior, so she had all her finals and stuff like that, and she's working and she has friend stuff and like a lot going on as a junior in high school should. And then today was the first day of summer break, so the first day that my kids were home and we were doing like other stuff. I had a doctor appointment, just a lot going on. And then Bowie, most of the week, was wrapping up 6th grade. In our school, our elementary is kindergarten to 6th grade, and then junior high is 7th and 8th. So they make a big deal about leaving the elementary, which makes us all very sad as parents. And my kids have been at the elementary, obviously, since Lotus was there in kindergarten. So many years now, I've been going to that school every single day, walking the little walk, picking them up, going back and forth, going to all the activities and parties and different volunteer things there. And so I've been really involved with this little school family that's become a close-knit, like I love every single teacher there. I would go back and volunteer if I didn't have kids there, I might do that. I love that school so much. So it was kind of a hard thing, but Bowie had a special like a graduation ceremony on Wednesday, which was adorable and very sweet and a good like way to close out the year. But that wasn't their last day of school. That was like the second to last day, but they made little memory books and wrote in each other's little things and cleaned out their lockers and all that stuff and kind of said goodbye. And then, but not really, because the next day was the last day of school, Thursday. And we had what we call the clap out. And so the whole school lines the hallways, all the kids, all the teachers inside, and they clap as the whole 6th grade walks out the doors for the last time, which is so heartbreaking. And then all us parents line up outside the doors and we clap as they come out. And then the whole 6th grade class walked to a nearby park and they had a beautiful party that a bunch of the parents helped plan with pizza and a cotton candy machine and a snow cone truck, and games and activities and like all this fun stuff to do. So they had like a park fun day together before the summer break and kind of, you know, their last little time together before they go to the bigger schools with all the other schools. So it's like this little group last time together, and then they'll be all mixed in with the other schools in junior high next year. But and I've mentioned probably before, you probably remember this, but my son has autism. And so it's like an extra special milestone for us because I feel like he's come so far since preschool to now, because he also went to preschool at this school for 2 years before kindergarten because we started early with him to get him socialized and stuff. So to see how much he's grown in these elementary years is like very moving and special to us. And so it's an even bigger milestone, I think, for families like ours that have seen tough times. You know, I've taken that kid, you know, in my arms crying to school. There's been, you know, hard years, easy, you know, beautiful, fun memories, just all mixed in. You know, there's a lot that we have gone through, honestly. But so it's extra special and extra emotional, and we're very excited for next year and also a little bit nervous. But our school has a really cool thing when you go into junior high that you can do over the summer. It's called Planet 7. It's like a little camp that your kids can go to that they get to go see the junior high building and get used to it a little bit, which is perfect for a kid with special needs or with autism. Bowie likes a soft introduction or like in a fun experience to be an introduction to a new school and a new building and all that stuff. So he gets to go to the little camp this summer, and they go to like an amusement park and they go swimming and that kind of stuff too. And the cool thing is my daughter gets to go along as kind of his helper because he does sometimes need just a little bit of help or supervision. And so we worked it out that she could be like there with him, which makes it extra fun because I can relax that I know he's like safe and being cared for and all that stuff. So anyway, that was kind of our week, and there's like more, but that was like the main parts of it. And it was just very like kind of milestone things. You know, we're entering junior high. My daughter's going to be a senior, and it's just a lot. So anyway, that's kind of what happened. In knitting news, I finished my Andrea Mowry Drea Renee Knits knit along hat that was over Memorial Day weekend. It's the traveler hat, and it goes with the traveler shawl. The traveler, she has a sweater, like a hoodie. What else? There's a whole set of these traveler patterns, but I did the worsted version of the hat, and I used Brooklyn Tweed Shelter in this pollen color, which is a very me color, and I love how it turned out. It's like it's like a tad bit big, I think, but it's not bad, and I don't have a lot of hats that are a little bit on the loose side, so I don't know if I mind. But if I wanted to, it really was a quick knit. I finished like well before the little weekend deadline because it's on, I did it on US 7s like the pattern said, but if I want it to be a tad smaller, I might reknit it on US 6s. I just haven't decided yet because it's fine this way too. It's a great little hat with this like the little shaping columns. I don't have it on very straight, but you get the idea. So it's a little bit loose, but it's not bad. It's not like too huge, but I really do like it, and it's very cozy and nice and a great color. So I finished that for the knit along. So that was last weekend. That was fun to get that done. And then that inspired me because I really liked working with this yarn, and this was from my stash. So I had 2 skeins of this in my stash that I always like was looking for a project. So this finally came along, and I'm like, well, that's perfect. So I did that. But then, which bag? In a different bag, one moment. In this bag, I ended up noticing that Brooklyn Tweed was having a warehouse sale. They have this, I think, once a year, maybe twice a year. And I usually just look at it, you know, and don't get anything. But then I did look at the right time where I got a really good deal on some shelter in the same color. So I did get a sweater quantity so I could make something. Maybe I had my eye on a few different patterns, or I could use one of my patterns. There's a couple patterns I have for a worsted weight sweater too. So I'm undecided on what I'm going to make yet with it, but and I know I already have yellow sweaters. I know. But I really like this yarn. I really like how it knit up in my hat. There's just a really nice feel to shelter, and I love this color. And I love this sweatshirt color too, the gray. There's really good colors in this yarn. So when I saw the chance to grab it on that sale, I was like, yep, I'll do something with this. So that is something I acquired this week. That's that. Also, Knit Collage, Amy Small, if you follow her or if you follow Knit Collage, she posted a little teaser of something I designed for them for this fall's release. So they release patterns seasonally, and you can join the knit along and get the kits and the whole thing. And I've been knitting with Knit Collage for a long time, and I kind of got my start in knitting with chunky yarns and chunky knits, and like my first book was kind of along that line, and my first patterns, a lot of them were chunky. So this is a very natural collaboration, I think, and a really good fit for what I do, and I had so much fun. I made a little vest. We kind of talked about some ideas, and she'd sent a mood board for what she was looking for fall. And so I made a little vest with a turtleneck and side ties, and it's kind of cropped, but you can also make it longer. It's up to you how long you want it to be. With this spun cloud yarn, and this is kind of a neutrally gray-ish color, and I think they're gonna knit it in some other colors too for sampling, but this is like kind of a dream collab for me. So there's a Knit Collage pattern. You can go see it in her Instagram stories. I saw it there, and I think I saw it on TikTok. She was just making a little video of her wearing the sample that I made and sent to them. And so I think I still have 2 skeins of this left, which means I can make another one for myself, because the one I made, I obviously sent to them. So anyway, go check out a little sneak peek, and then you can watch for that pattern to be released this fall which will come sooner than we think because, you know, with knitting, our fall comes a little early. But yeah, I'm very excited about the Knit Collage pattern and collaboration. I love them. They're just really cool people, really great to work with. And so I'm very excited that this pattern turned out so good, and I'm so excited about it. And I want to make another one, and so watch for that. One more thing that I kind of treated myself to this week was some self-striping yarn from Nomadic Yarns. I love, love, love her self-striping. It's just the best. And I have several of them that I've done tubes on my machine, and that's what I plan to do with this as well. This is a Life Aquatic colorway, and you can see all the different, like the blue, the red, the really vivid turquoise, this kind of yellow green. There's some really fun colors in here, and they look really nice striped up. And then once you find out the name and you love that movie, it's like, okay, I have to have Life Aquatic socks. So I got this from Nomadic Yarns, and that's always just kind of fun to, like, I need more socks. I know, don't even tell me. But with the sock machine, it's kind of like, it just makes everything more doable. Like, I will finish these socks. I will knit up this tube. It will take much less time. I can add the heels and toes on the machine or do it by hand, and it just, I don't know. So it helps me get through my sock stash that I already have, but I wanted to add this to it because I really like the colors. So that was a fun little thing that I picked up during one of her updates. And then let's talk about the Purl Soho blanket that I was working on last time. This thing kind of caused me some trouble. It's my own fault. So whenever I was working on this on the go, kind of play practice, sometimes in the car. I was kind of just taking it with me everywhere. And then that kind of bit me in the butt because for this, it's a 4-row repeat. And if you're not paying attention, or if you're knitting in the dark, like I kind of was, I was just kind of starting rows without quite checking. You know, you got to read your knitting. And I don't think I was taking the time to, like, I thought it was right. And then I was like, no, it's not. So I had to go back a ways. I think last time I was maybe to the green or the blue. And then I discovered my little blobs were not in the right place. So these little blobbies, and it looks a lot like crochet. This looks to me like a lot like of some of those crochet blankets that a lot of people are working on with sock yarn. The little blobbies should be staggered a little bit. And the way they were before, they were kind of staggered in some places and not others. It's like I was one off sometimes, or I had started with the wrong stitch, because there's some that start with this and some that start with one below. It's like, you do have to pay attention a little bit. So it was off enough that it bugged me, but most people probably wouldn't have seen it. So I did rip back pretty far and reknit all of this, and I did get to this pink color, which is really fun next to that green. And then the twisty turny of the repeats, I hurt my wrists. I overdid it because I was really like focused on reknitting what I had lost. So I just went and went and went and went, and it was tight, and there's a lot of like movement because you are knitting one below and purling and like so in that process I messed up my wrists. They did not feel good, and so I have actually taken a 2-day forced knitting break, which is really hard for me to do. I was mad, but if I don't do that, and I know I've had trouble with carpal tunnel before, and I sometimes just get like an overworked something, it like kind of shoots up here. Usually it gets a little numb, a little tingly, and then some pain, and I sleep, you know, like this. I have braces that I sleep in. I also have a CBD balm that really helps. But I know when I get to that point, you just have to stop, because I've kept going before, and it's always bad. It makes it so much worse, and it takes longer to feel better. So my 2-day knitting break, I think I can start knitting again tonight. I'm going to allow myself to knit slowly on something very easy. Maybe not this, because this is a lot of funny wrist movements that I think was really bugging this wrist. So bummer, but I'm at least back to a little bit ahead of where I was before. It's looking so fun and cool. I really love it, and I'm excited to get to the next colors. I think I have 3 more that I've already picked out from that last time. It was this pink and this natural. So the pink is the one I'm using right now. And then the next 2 are this gold and green. So no rush on this. I have to remind myself, this is not a deadline project. This can sit and wait till I'm ready. There's no hurry on this. I do have some other things that are more deadline urgent. And so I should really save my wrists for that. So I'm going to refocus and like maybe take a break from that, but I really do want to knit on that. It's very tempting because it's like 1 quick row, you know, and then 2 quick rows, but not if it hurts. So tonight, I think I just want to work on this. This has been sitting off to the side while I've been doing other stuff and while I was doing the hat knit along. And I've been designing a whole bunch of things for Madeline Tosh, a whole collection of stuff. It's going to be like time consuming, but that's all the writing stuff I have to do, which is a different like mindset, and I still want to be knitting. So I think I'm going to knit this tonight. Some nice easy stockinette that I can go slowly on, and if my wrist hurts, I'll stop. But I want to get down to the ribbing on this, and it shouldn't take me that long. This has been sitting for way too long, so I just want to get it going, and I want to get to the sleeves really badly. So this can be off my needles and I can start the next things. I do have some potential really big projects that might take my whole summer, and they might be secret. So I'm not sure how to go about all that and like showing you what I'm working on, but I always have like side projects I'm doing along with that. So I'm sure it'll be fine, but I do really want to get this going. And so this is what I'm going to do now, tonight, the rest of the evening, and maybe this weekend. So we'll see. That's pretty much it for this week. I'm sorry, that was not very much at all, but really it was my wrist, honestly. Even if I'd had more time to knit, my wrist was not having it. So that is what you get this week. It's okay to take a little rest. It's good. If you ever feel that, stop. Stop what you're doing. It's so easy to overdo it. You know what I'm talking about. So just, it's better to rest, take a little break, do some other things. And then, you know, yeah, tonight I'm gonna try again. But thanks for hanging out with me just for a bit today. Thanks for checking back to see if I had a video. I do. Hopefully next week will be more exciting. I have no idea. Hopefully my wrist is better. But thanks for hanging out. Have a good weekend, and like and subscribe if you feel like it. Follow me on Instagram. I post a lot there. If you want to see all the graduation highlights and all the, you know, end of school year things. My daughter just had new band pictures taken and they were really awesome. Go check all that out on my Instagram. It's at Jen Geigley, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.